University College Birmingham is giving away £5,000 to support your studies that doesn't have to be paid back. That's £250 a month between October and May. Max and Livvy discuss how they'll spend theirs.
£250 a month. It's a game changer.
Massively. I've actually sat down and planned it all, like properly this time. So I've got my list here and everything.
Same. Mine started with food, obviously.
Shocker. So how much are you budgeting then?
I spend about £80 on a weekly shop at ALDI and probably about 20 on takeaway, Chinese, sushi, that kind of thing. Well, to be honest, I'd probably a bit less in ALDI and a bit more on the takeaway.
I'm not surprised. I've got 60. So I get a free brekkie on campus, soup for lunch. So the only thing I really need to think about is dinner.
Free breakfast? Since when?
Since forever. You actually have to show up in the mornings, you know.
Fair enough. All right, what about rent? Do you spend any of the £250 on rent?
No. So I live at home. So I've got to chip in with the bill. So I give my dad about £100 a month. But I'm not actually including it in this because I pay for that with my part-time job at the Odeon on New Street, which is pretty good to be fair because I get to work around my lectures.
Fair enough. My rent's about £158 a week and my halls are all inclusive so I don't have to worry about Wi-Fi or heating, thank God. I've got a nice little ensuite too. But no, I'm in the same boat. My rent doesn't come out of that £250. It comes out of my student loan.
Nice. Okay, so we're not going to include rent in this. I have 25 for transport, which goes mostly on buses because, you know, it's way cheaper than a car and way less stressful.
Oh, definitely. I walk everywhere. I save about £30 for train fares to go home and see the family. But even with a rail card, that adds up.
So true. Right, I've got down 20 for essentials, so things like shampoo, toothpaste, etc. Then I've got a really good student deal for Spotify and Netflix, which is really good to be fair because that way I get to have a bit of background noise whilst I'm revising. And that's about 20 between the both of them.
Same. I cannot revise without background noise. So I spend about £25 on my phone bill. I really can't live without it. I'm going to spend about £20 on some sort of club. I'm thinking sport, maybe photography, not really sure. I've got about £40 left after that, which I'll probably spend on eating out. I don't really drink either, which really helps the budget.
Well, that's really smart because going out completely drains your budget. I'm more of an F1 girl personally, so I'm actually eyeing myself a Sky Sports membership, but that's £30 a month, so it's definitely not a priority. However, if I can stick to this budget of £250, then I should be able to take some of it out at the end of it, so fingers crossed.
Definitely. Those subscriptions do add up, and I am most certainly spending too much on takeaway and not enough time on cooking.
Why don't you try bulk cooking? I do that. So I do my weekly shop at Lidl and ALDI, and then say if I fancy a spag bowl, I'll make enough for 4 nights, and then, I don't know, that just comes under a £5, so it's really cheap. And then I have enough money to spend on a little campus coffee, or a little vintage shop. Actually, last week, I got a North Face puffer for under a tenner.
Wow.
I know.
I'm jealous. I love Digbeth shops.
And I got one of my textbooks for £8 instead of 45.
Yeah, I panic bought mine the night before the lecture. Absolutely tragic. Paid full price for it. So normally after that, £35 left of whatever money, you know, stationery, snacks, that kind of thing. And then if I've got any left at the end of the week, I'll put in savings.
I have a £30 buffer, so I could also do that too, but I just need enough willpower to save. But we'll see. Anyways, have we missed anything or?
Everything. There's millions of things to do in Birmingham. Concerts, gigs, exhibitions, sporting events, theatre. There's too much to do.
So that means we're definitely going to go over budget then.
Yes, I think I'm going to need that budget spreadsheet from uni, aren't I?
I've actually already downloaded it. It's colour-coded and everything.
Oh, mate, you are so organised. Yeah. Well, £250, while I don't think it will cover everything, it definitely helps. If we plan correctly, use a student loan well or a part-time job, something like that,
Yeah.
I think you can live your best life at uni.
Completely.